Hey, Coach. Good morning. It's Chris Brown.
Chris.
General question about the amount of creativity with scheme week to week. So generally speaking, when assessing matchups in your plan each week, are there games where you will lean on the talent of your players more to make the offense effective, and other weeks where maybe the caliber of opponent is so strong, you might lean on scheme more to help your players be effective?
Yeah, Chris, good question. The first thing I'll say is this is a player's game. They're out there doing it on a week-to-week, day-to-day basis, and I have so much respect for the amount of work they put in and their skill set. Our job is to try to put them in the best position we can. Their job is to go out there and execute and beat their matchups. So I'd say there's a balance, but I would always lean towards the players in any question that you ask based on their commitment to what they have to do, how hard it is to play this game at a high level, how consistent you have to be. And we certainly try to do our part to scheme it up and do our best to try to put them in the best position we can.
And then just to follow up real quick, your offense has remained productive here through the course of the season in terms of point production, even though it's been a pretty difficult month for you personally. And again, condolences that we're passing along to you for the second time this season.
Thank you.
Wish we didn't have to do that, but how have you been able to, how have you been able to compartmentalize that to stay on task here with the offense?
Yeah, I think everybody goes through struggles and adversity and, different adversity at different times, whatever it may be, personal or professional. And, you got to stay focused. You got to stay committed to the cause. The two people that I lost would want it to be that way anyways, as I'm sure most people that, loved ones they lost would want it to be focused and committed to what they're doing. So got a lot of good people around you. You lean on people that you love and you trust. And certainly the players and the coaches here are part of that extended family for me. So that's just come in day to day and roll up your sleeves and go to work.
Thanks. Good luck going forward, man.
Thanks, Chris.
Hey, Dabes, echoing what Chris said, very, very sorry to hear about the passing of your grandfather.
Thanks.
When you look at what Dawson has been able to do so far this season, and now you're not going to have him for, at least one game, an extended period of time there, what have you seen from Tommy Sweeney, and especially the way he was able to step up, get that first touchdown against the Titans, especially with everything that he's gone through?
Yeah. Again, credit to Brandon and Joe and those guys that bring in the type of people that we look for, we covet in terms of intelligent, dependable, have some mental toughness about him. Look, he went through, I'd say, his own set of adversities last year, and he's a pretty consistent player, consistent person in how he approaches his job. And, he knows his role, and he goes out there at practice and he does his role. And when his number's called, we expect him to be able to do that. And that's a credit to him, and it's a credit to Rob. But again, I think it's the type of people that we bring in here that you're going to have injuries, throughout the year. That's the NFL. Sometimes it feels like it's more than it has been in the past, but he's done a good job and he'll be ready to go.
Does this maybe not having Dawson, does this maybe open the door for more opportunities for a guy like Gabriel Davis?
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to use all our guys. How much that is, it remains to be seen yet at this point based on what we're getting here from Miami. But Gabe's ready to go. I've said this all along. Look, you can only play with 5 eligible receivers. Steph's one of them for the most part, and Bees and Sanders. So, and a running back. And so we try to use, what we can use, but Gabe will be ready.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, Brian, it's Kim Jones. Can you hear me okay?
Kim, how are you? Yeah, I got you.
I'm fine, thank you. Just real quick.
Yep.
I don't mean real quick, actually. I was watching the broadcast and I thought I was mishearing the broadcasters when they mentioned your grandfather's passing, and I'm really sorry.
Yeah, well, thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a lot. And I'm very sorry about that.
Yep, thanks.
I was in Buffalo yesterday, and I'm always interested to listen to your players because they're really, really high IQ guys. And I say that with a pure heart. I mean, they really are.
Sure.
Are smart guys, and and about things other than just the X's and O's. And I found with
Mhm.
Steph yesterday, I asked him about his role in the huddle when Josh is sometimes overly hard on himself. And he was really eloquent about it. And my question to you isn't necessarily as much about Steph as it is, do you like that Josh expects perfection from himself and his play?
Yeah, I love it. He's highly competitive, one of the most competitive guys I know. Um, he wants to be the best he can be for our football team. And that's, he's not too concerned with stats and things like that. But what he wants to do is put points up on the board and ultimately help our team win football games. And that's what you appreciate about a player, particularly that you've been with for his entire career, is his mindset, his competitiveness, his love of the game. He's a joy to be around, I would say, in the building, getting ready to play games, and outside the building. He holds a special place in my heart.
And as far as Steph goes, do you like the idea that he almost takes it as his responsibility to say to Josh, hey, your next play is the best play. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, Steph does that with a lot of guys.
Okay.
Obviously him and Josh are really close, and they've built a close bond here just in the short time that he's been there. But, how fortunate we are to have Steph on our football team. Not just the talent that he brings on the field, but again, another highly competitive individual who wants to do whatever he can do to help us win, whether that be take a double coverage, make a few plays, catch and run, or get into, the huddle with Josh and help Josh however he needs to help him. He does it with the lineman too, and he's a receiver. So a unique guy for our football team.
Thanks very much.
You got it.
Hey, Brian. I'm echoing everyone that I'm so sorry about your loss, and thanks for
Catherine.
taking time to talk with us.
Yeah, sure.
I was curious, of all the coaches you've worked with, is there anything that Sean McDermott does differently around the bye that has maybe led to how successful he's been?
Yeah, I think every head coach that I've been around has, their own set of beliefs in terms of how to handle a bye. Been fortunate enough to be here for 4 years and watch how Sean has done things, particularly during this time, in terms of allowing his coaches to get some rest, allowing the players to get some rest, coming back ready to go. I think it's a formula that he's been around in his past, and obviously something I've taken note of, because you do come back re-energized, you do come back with a fresh outlook, and you do come back ready to work. As you know, there's long hours in our business, and we like that, but I think getting rest and downtime, particularly how today's world's going with mental health issues and things like that, I think that helps everybody, and that's a credit to Sean, to me, and his leadership and how he approaches it.
A few players yesterday were saying they kind of struggle with that disconnect because they love to play so much, they want to be right
Sure.
back out there. Does Sean have to really verbalize that of like, no, you guys need to rest a little bit, or how does he do that?
Yeah, I just think he's got a good pulse of the team. He's a very good organizer. He's well thought out. He plans things accordingly based on what our team needs. And he just got a good beat on the guys. And, he's been really good in that aspect. Learned a lot from him in regards to taking care of your body, get rest. I'd say both with the coaches and the players. It helps your mental capacity when you're fresh, you're ready to go. And look, again, credit to Sean and Brandon for bringing the type of people they bring in, highly competitive individuals who love the game. So it's good they want to get back in here. It's the same with the coaches. You get a few days off, and there's guys still coming in and using the treadmill. I should be one of them, but I'm not. So they doing a little extra work on team we're getting ready to play, or it's just a really good and positive environment to be part of.
Thanks.
You got it.
Hey, Brian, thinking of you, man.
Hey, John, thanks. Appreciate it.
Obviously, we saw Quinton a bit in camp. Can you give us a little idea of what Cahill? He hasn't been around nearly as long.
Yeah.
The type of player he is, and what you've seen since he's joined the squad.
Yeah, another guy that's a tireless worker. He's coming. He's met a lot with Rob and Soph to try to pick up the offense as quickly as he can. I think he's a good teammate. The guys the guys seem to take a liking to him. He's big, he's got good hands, and he's learning how we want to do things here. It's early in his juncture here, but he's worked as hard as he can work to try to put himself in a position to start learning how we do things.
And then I know we spoke going into the bye, red zone efficiency is a hot topic. Did you dive into that? I'm assuming during the bye week, what did you find, and just maybe explain maybe where some of the shortcomings are?
Yeah, I mean, a few plays here or there can get your numbers the way they need. Again, it starts with putting together a good plan and then going out there and executing it. There's no secret recipe. We kind of look at everything. We feel confident about the direction that we're going, and we got to go out there and do it. We'll have a big day today with red zone, so hopefully we'll see some improvement in that area.
Is it more of just execution or switching up the plays and way you attack?
Yeah, I think it involves everything. That's on a game-to-game basis too. It's an all-encompassing sport. It starts with us with game planning and calls and the players and going out there, and we're all a part of this. And we'd like to be ranked high in every category there is offensively. Most importantly, we'd like to have as many wins as we could have and points as we can have. So, we try to look at everything, John, obviously that being one of them, particularly where we're ranked to go ahead and try to improve.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
Hey, Brian, you covered a lot of it with the red there, and obviously condolences, man. I'm thinking about you.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
I'm wondering, I asked Steph about this yesterday. Obviously tighter windows, you don't have as much space to work in the red zone. But when you're teaching these guys during the week and you're going over it like in a day like this, what do you emphasize to, focus wise, mindset wise, when you get down there to execute better?
Yeah, I think it starts with details. And again, I think we've had more snaps than any team in the league in a red zone or close to it. Particularly, we've also had a bye. The more you have, the more opportunities you get. We like to capitalize all of them. Look, there's tighter force area patterns, tighter coverages, shorter windows. That's the nature of the red zone. You got an extra defender in the back line, and your spacing has to be really good. And getting off and beating press coverage. There's a lot of double teams down there usually. So there's a lot of things that go with it. We work on it every week. We're certainly going to try to improve that area of the game along with everything else.
We've enjoyed our conversations since Emmanuel's got here, but I want to ask you where he ranks in your FaceTime rankings, because he said he's had some fun conversations with you on FaceTime over the couple months he's been.
Yeah, I love E. I keep our FaceTimes between E and I, but I just got a lot of respect for him as a man and obviously as a veteran player. Again, I've said this many times. I'm happy we have him.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.